So hi, welcome to the Good Noise Podcast. We're here with Clara from Backseat Vinyl, and we're going to ask her some questions today. So I'll start. What inspired you to start Backseat Vinyl?
So actually, I just joined Backseat Vinyl in October of 2018, but Keenan and Nate have been doing it for 5 years now. They started right before Keenan graduated high school, so I think it's been about 5 years.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But they, I don't know, I think Nate has just always wanted, music is just one of those things, like, that you want to do it, and he said that ever since he first picked up a guitar, he knew that that's what he was gonna do, so. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Keenan feels the same way about drums. He still takes drum lessons just to, up the ante, mm-hmm. and to, perfect everything that he does. He still goes, I think, once a week and does drum lessons.
Yeah, I respect that.
That's cool.
Right.
That's cool. So what made you join Backseat Vinyl?
It was actually kind of weird. So I went to a Fright show when they were touring for Hypochondriac, mm-hmm. and I posted about it, and then I tagged the Frights, and Nate was on the Backseat Vinyl Instagram going through and looking at posts on there, for spamming or whatever. And he liked my post, and then I looked at them, and I was like, oh, cool, a local band. So I bought tickets from Nate, and then not even a week later, he DM'd me again and was like, hey, I noticed you play bass. Would you want to come and, try it out? Because their last bassist, Trevor, it just was it wasn't something he wanted to really fully commit to. Mm-hmm. So they were looking for somebody new. So I went and we started playing together, and it all just kind of worked out. I don't know. We last year, I mean, even now still, but right after I started, we were all sorry, can I cuss? Busting.
Yeah.
We were all
go for it.
Yeah, we were getting ready to tour, and they had just we released Sad Frenzy in January of 2019, and we were touring all through July of last year, I think. So we were mm-hmm. going, I was still in high school, but we were going 2-3 times a week for 5-6 hours a night, wow. Getting the album ready to go. Mm-hmm. And I've always wanted to do music as well. I've been playing bass for 6 or 7 years now, and that was the golden opportunity. They were hey, just come join us and you can just hop in, and I was like, okay, that's awesome.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah,
that's really cool. It's lucky. Wow.
Yeah, right.
So what is the writing process like for you guys?
A shit show. Everybody has their process, but it's I was actually just watching a video earlier about this other guy who makes music, talking about his process, and it's you set this goal, and it's oh, once I, make this or do this, I'll be good and I'll feel better, but every time you create something new, there's something bigger and better and higher that you want to do, but I don't know, you'll hear the tune in the back of your head, and you're okay, I'm gonna go home and work with that, and then by the time you get the demo out, it's not even the first thing that you thought of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The big thing for me is writing lyrics. I will sit and cry and rip up notebooks because I just can't get the words to sound right.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Nate's walking in the door. Yep, there he is.
Oh.
Hello.
No.
Sorry, he just got home from work.
Yep.
Yeah, that's no problem. So, what does the name Backseat Vinyl mean to you?
Oh, we get asked this in every interview, and I hate to say it, but nothing. It was
okay.
It's actually, so I guess Keenan's backseat in his car all through high school just was piled with trash. Mm-hmm. So it was the backseat, and then they just kind of picked a word that sounded cool to pair with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how Backseat Vinyl came to be.
Mm-hmm. There's no fake deep story that you guys tell.
Sometimes I like to make something up, and we were all just we used to go pick up vinyls and keep them in a milk crate, and everybody's backseats of their car. There's nothing to it.
Crate everything.
Yeah. All right.
That's cool still.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So we're all stuck in quarantine. What bands have you been listening to with all this free time?
Oh God, I'm gonna have to look at my Spotify for this.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Father John Misty, because it's nice and chill.
Yeah.
You can just turn it on in the background. Surf Curse is always a big one for me. I listen to Surf Curse pretty much on a daily basis. I love them.
Oh.
The Frights, always. Yep. And Cottonwood Firing Squad, I just recently found them, but they have some pretty good stuff on their discography.
That's cool an interesting name.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's one that I want to know the story behind.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
Oh,
same.
So, random word generator.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, have you guys been working on any future projects while you're stuck in quarantine?
I don't know how much of this I can talk about. We're releasing. We're in the midst of recording a new album right now. We're I think about halfway through with tracking. But Bad Trip, the latest single that we just released, and then Heads from January are two of the main singles off that album. We have another one coming in a few months, and then a whole new album later this year.
Oh, cool.
Ooh,
which is really exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, that's exciting. So aside from, music, what else have you been doing to stay busy during quarantine?
I actually just recently, I have a whole bunch of me personally, I don't know what Keenan does. I think he started doing DoorDash, so he's doing that just to make money. We're both working a lot. We both work at a grocery store, so we're working a lot. Okay. Writing here and there. Recently, I have a bunch of 45s, like old 45s, and I bought blank sleeves for them on eBay, and then went and got a bunch of paint, and I've been painting sleeves so they all have like a protective case and putting like little album artwork and stuff on them. Because it's mindless entertainment at the very least.
Yeah, I feel that. I do that.
Yeah, really cool. And Netflix.
Yeah.
Lots of Netflix.
What have you been watching on Netflix?
We just watched this movie Antrim last night. I saw a whole bunch of stuff about it, like, the scariest movie ever. It really wasn't. Like, I don't. I mean, like, maybe if you're squeamish, because there was a little bit of like hints of cannibalism and stuff. But
fun. All right.
Yeah, both Nate and I were like, that was kind of a waste of 2 hours. I don't know. It was weird. Scary movies are a big one for us. I watch a lot of like YouTubers too. Like I like BuzzFeed Supernatural or BuzzFeed Unsolved. Yeah, they're really good. Ryan and Shane, I love them.
So, shoot. I was about to pick up on that. I was about to pick up on BuzzFeed Unsolved. Sorry. So what's your favorite part of being in the music industry?
Probably just like, I don't know. Like the freedom of it, because it's like your own, everybody has their own sound, regardless of whether or not you're trying to recreate within a genre. It's going to be something that only you can make on your own anyway, because everybody's brain creates things differently and thinks about different things. So even with like, between just the three of us, it's like Nate will send Keenan a demo and, ask him to like throw some drums on it, and it'll go from like a cool like vocal and guitar demo to like a whole cool like sick song that like Nate and I don't think drums at all, so that's not I like sometimes he'll throw something in there that we didn't even like expect, which is happening a lot on like the new album. Sounds really cool.
That's cool.
It's exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
So what's your favorite part of making the music itself, like having the idea come together?
Oh God, I don't know. Sometimes I get really frustrated and don't like doing it at all.
I get that. Fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Probably like, I don't know. Trying just like, making everything like sound good, like listenable, like, when you're making a demo, you can have like, a chord progression and then like throw a bass line under it, but coming up with a cool like lead to put on top of it and vocals and everything, and then adding like a synth beat or keys, like just making everything kind of come together. And it's especially elevated like when we go to the studio up at the Spot Studios. Like that's probably the best part, because Glenn and Rich will suggest something that none of us ever even thought of, and we're like, oh yeah, that's really cool. And then it all just kind of like hearing the final product of putting it all together.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool. So what bands or artists do you think are your biggest inspiration?
Probably the Frights is a big one. Fiddler, Waves. If you ever ask Nate anything about Waves, that's like he wants to be best friends with him. I don't know. Recently, we've been looking more into like, I don't know, like calm stuff like Richie Woods or Purity Ring is cool, but I don't know if I could ever recreate anything like that.
Yeah.
High Sun is cool. High Sun's really cool, and Prince Daddy and the Hyena. And I saw that you guys actually interviewed.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
He's really cool.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
He is.
that was a fun
Very
one.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was your first concert, and do you think going to see live music as a whole has influenced how you present yourself on stage?
Yeah. My first concert was actually, I went to see Miley Cyrus when I was 8. Yeah, when I was 8 years old.
Wow.
That was, I mean, I still love Miley Cyrus. It's cool, but I think a big, when I get up on stage to perform, I think about all the times that I've gone to shows where they have local openers or just local shows. And when I went to see Boyo, I went to see it was Hot Flash Heatwave, and then Boyo opened for them. And I had heard of Hot Flash Heatwave and listened to him a little bit, but I'd never heard of Boyo. But just everything about his set and the way he performed and how he interacted with the audience, I love Boyo now. I listen to his music all the time because I still have, that in the back of my head when I listen to it. And that, the first time you ever hear a song, especially if it's your first time hearing it live, it just adds that much more to it. Yeah. And I want to do that for other people, they'll be at the show and they're like, oh, I don't know who these guys are, but then we put on a really, really good set and they're like, okay, I'm gonna go home and listen to them for a week straight now. You know?
Yeah,
I get that.
Feel that.
Yeah.
So if you could go to any concert, past or present, what concert would you go to?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Probably when the Killers did their tour. I mean, they were touring for their new album, which upsets me because I don't like it, but I've always loved the Killers. If they could do an anniversary tour for Sam's Town, I would pay billions. I would throw everything I have into going to that show because that would be awesome. Or somebody seeing I don't know, it's kind of mainstream, but Lorde or Lana Del Rey, I feel that they would just put on a really good show.
Yeah, really solid show.
Definitely.
Gloria, your camera's frozen.
Oh, F.
L.
L.
So, top 3 songs to perform live?
For us?
Yeah.
Die Cool is always really fun. Greaser, and probably now, Bad Trip. When we throw Bad Trip onto the set list, Bad Trip is going to be really, really fun, because it's just, the faster and louder and the more, pumpy it is, the more fun it is to play live, because because then bodies start moving. Sometimes we'll get mosh pits going down in the front and stuff, and it's always really cool. It just then I get more energy because I see them getting excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's cool. So what is your dream venue to play in? When you play in that venue and you go out and you're like, oh, I made it. What venue is that for you?
Oh, that's a good one. Geez, I don't know. Honestly, anything stadium size. If we could ever play, the Pepsi Center, First Bank. Up in Minnesota, we have the Target Center, and I've seen a couple shows there. Just if we could pack a room full of 30,000 people, that would be that's it. You know.
Yeah. I get that.
I hope you do.
Yeah. One day, maybe.
Someday,
yeah, one day.
One day.
So we do this thing where we get a question from the last band we interviewed. So this one comes from Pulses. In what way has social media been a positive tool for your band, and in what way has it been an annoyance to the band?
In a positive way, we have the world at our fingertips. It's probably we're probably in the age where it's the easiest to get stuff out there, but on the other side of that, streaming platforms, and because there are so many other things out there, it's almost you get kind of buried in the crossfire.
Yeah.
Especially like, yeah, like I love Spotify, Apple Music. Like streaming is like one of the best things that's ever happened. But as an artist, it's a little frustrating because it's like we get buried under all the other more popular artists that are on top of us in Spotify. It's really easy to get lost in the algorithm.
I get that.
Yeah, that's fair. So where do you see the band in the next 5 years? Or where would you like to see the band in the next 5 years?
Hopefully touring again. Not even since quarantine, pretty much since we moved into this apartment, we've been really like, we stopped touring almost at the same time. So we've been really like cooped up and just working all the time. And I think about it every day, like how much I would like to just go out and tour again, especially like if we were touring more successfully, like playing bigger shows out of state and stuff would be like really awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna shift away from music for the last couple questions. If you were on death row, what would your last meal be and why?
Oh, that's so hard. Probably like those giant like foot-long brats that you can get at the fair with like sauerkraut and mustard on it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Right.
and a big cup of lemonade.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Definitely. So, if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live? Like, it could be TV show, movie, book, comic book. Like,
ooh. American Horror Story Coven. If I could be in the Coven for just like a couple days, like that would be so cool. Just to, and all the characters in that season are cool. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. So I'm going to shift back to music for 2 seconds. Our friend Max is a big fan of you guys.
Oh, yeah.
And he wants to know if you guys like modern baseball.
I like modern baseball.
Okay.
Personally,
Good.
modern baseball is like, they were peak for me pretty much all through high school. I love modern baseball. Nate he's weird about like screechy vocals like that. I think Keenan likes modern baseball too, but he generally leans towards more like hardcore stuff. But modern baseball is right like in the good zone for me.
All right, good.
Them and Tiger's Jaw, Mom Jeans, all that stuff.
Oh, Mom Jeans. Okay, yeah.
All right, and now for the final question, probably the most important question. What's your favorite color?
Mine is all of them. I like the more color, the better. I don't know if you could. Our couch is bright green.
Yeah.
My hair is always a different color. We have a big gold and pink lamp. All my flower pot. I love.
That's awesome.
Color of all sorts. I think my favorite color is black, and Keenan's is definitely purple.
All right, cool.
That's cool.
So that's all the questions we have for you. Is there anything you'd like to plug?
Just go stream Bad Trip now. It's everywhere, literally. The artwork is really cool. The chick who did the artwork is really cool. And yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, cool. This was Clara from Backseat Vinyl.
Oh my god.
Shit.
And Cartoon Head.
Yeah, that's where I was going.